Public key pinning. Gotta make sure I bring all the documentation forward. Okay, that should make HPKP work. Could use some unit tests on the that builder. This thing. You know what? In fact, I'm actually going to peel this logic out here and put it in here. Well, I'll put it in both places. Protect myself. It's always good to protect yourself when programming. So I need to check these exceptions first. I think I'm going to expose maybe like an internal constructor with no arguments. That's a good question. I could probably make an interface of a public key pin, right? Like an iPublic key pin. That way I can unit test this stuff a lot better. well, in actuality, these only have internal properties, so it's not really for the user to use, so I think maybe it doesn't matter, come to think of it. Well, yeah, no, I don't think it matters. There's no need for these things to be extensible. So okay, so I think what I need to do is just write some unit tests, just to make sure the exceptions work. Okay, what's this? Oh, fact. Alright, so this is a fact. We're going to assert, so we're making some unit tests on this header builder class. So the first thing we want to just write unit tests for is just to make sure that these argument exceptions will throw, and that's only because it's really good for the future if somebody refactors this class that it still works that way. So this should throw an argument out of range exception, and this needs to be an action. Action. Okay, so should just do HPKP builder HPKP header builder. Or head up builders, a HPKP header builder. Okay, this project should... Are we not exposing internals here? Internals visible hard hat unit tests. Yeah, it should work. There we go. Okay, so if this is 0, it should throw. Let's just see if that's the fact. Nice, okay. The next one is an argument null, right? An argument null on keys. All these are pretty easy to write. And then if keys is less than 2, it should throw as well. And I think I can specify the, this will be an argument exception. So Just make sure those are covered. No. Let's configure 2 public key pairs. Inaccessible. It's protection level. Oh, this needs to be a public constructor, maybe? Nice. Okay, and then let's just add everything. Include subdomains as true. Report URI is /awesome. Okay, so in theory, so the expected string looks something like this. It's like pin SHA-256. I'm gonna make this a these deals. Actually, I'm just gonna console log this. I'm just gonna see what that looks like in here. Shouldn't be a super big string. That actually looks exactly correct. I guess I'm just gonna have to escape the strings. Actually, that shouldn't be a space there. Like, this should have no space. There should be no space here or here. Actual is results. So I have to fix that. I don't know how that space is sneaking in. Port URI. Let's see if it matches. Okay. So it's just /awesome. Great. That's great. Okay. I want to do one where there's no subdomains. Let's, actually, I think this is good enough. It's kind of hitting them all. let's just see what this looks like when I make an example. Max age. Actually, I can probably just take this. Okay, so, oh wait, I can just do it like this. Keep alt-tabbing improperly. It's driving me up the wall. Okay. Just come up with a nice example for people. Just steal the one from Firefox website, because it's probably a really good one. What's their max age? Okay, hello everyone. In case you're just tuning in, I'm working on a bunch of middleware that helps protect the privacy of your users and improves your .NET Core, .NET application security, your websites that are built with .NET Core. It's called Hardhat. The project's called Hardhat. That's what it looks like. Right now I'm just kind of like tidying up the docs and everything. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm up to. I'm essentially just writing some middleware that helps improve security of people's websites. Middleware kind of sits in between the web server and the request. It's an open source project, so it's pretty much what I'm doing. Nothing fancy. I'm just kind of chilling out here. What are you guys up to? Anything good? Anyway, I'm just right now working on the ability to pin a website certificate so that the browser knows if the public, if the certificate, the SSL certificate, a website is using is actually the one it's supposed to be using. So really I have to just write the documentation at this point. Yeah, so I think that's actually gonna like be the 1.0 of this project. Let's see. This is slated for 1.1, but I'm actually gonna make this 1.0. Public key pinning I just finished. And the documentation is the next thing. Make a pull request, see what that looks like. I like making pull requests just to see my diff. It's really nice to be able to like just view what you've changed before you like commit to it. Got no summary here. That's not good. Well, I guess not. It's kind of self-explanatory. When you think of it, you're adding a public key pin, and the fingerprint is the only thing that's weird, right? But it says here it's the base 64 encoded subject public key information. And there's an enum to go with it. Should just make sure that it actually works at this point. So many different policies on this thing, it's crazy. So view source. Just filtering things. I only want documents. Man, Edge is terrible. Okay. Don't ever use Edge. Yep. Violating security policies. That's good so far. Headers, response headers. Public key pins, there it is. Does that mean that... What's a protocol error? Nice. Okay. Yep. That looks like it's gonna work. No problem. Excellent. Okay. So now that we have this, I think I just need to merge this in, and I know it keeps scrolling crazy fast. Now that we have public key pinning working, so we're providing a hash of like the security certificates we're using for a given website, I just have to actually write all the documentation for all this stuff, and I know that's boring to watch, but you know, feel free to tell me about your day while I'm doing it. You know, how's everybody out there in Twitchland today? Let me know, because I'm not really up to too much. I actually want to see this build first. So this is like the CI system I use. This is like compiling the app and running all the unit tests to just make sure that it doesn't just work on my machine. And it looks like it built, but oh, okay, there we go. Yep. So there we go. So I'll add HPKP. Just want to make sure I got that right. Yep, HPKP. And everything public is HPKP as well, right? HPKP. Yep. Okay, great. So, like now that that's merged, I just have to figure out the documentation behind this stuff. That's a little bit tricky. Do you put it in a wiki? Do you just write some markdown files? And I just like actually having a docs folder, I think. It's simple. People can contribute easier. So I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna make a docs folder. And new file just called readme.md. This will be the index basically. Okay, so I think what we'll do is there's 12 pieces of middleware, and we'll have a file for each middleware, and then that file can discuss like why you would want that middleware, and you can talk more about the middlewares there. So Hard Hat is essentially a group of 12 plus individual middleware that help you improve the security of, let me zoom in on this a bit. There we go. That's a little too much. So I should move this pane back. Hard Hat is essentially a group of 12 individual middleware that help you improve the security of your ASP.NET Core based applications. Each middleware has a separate README file. See the links below. That's all we have to put. I'm gonna fix my spelling. Separate middleware. Okay. The first one, let's just do the easiest one first. DNS prefetch, that's a good one. So we'll add DNS prefetch.md, and then this is Markdown, by the way. Markdown is a markup language just to view a document. So I'm just basically making a link. Here's a bullet, and I'm just making a link off of it. I'll show you what this looks like. Markdown, open preview. See, this is what this is looking like here. So yep, that's basically what we'll have. So DNS prefetch. Let's talk about DNS prefetch. You know, this was really inspired by I started making this module originally based off of this project called Helmet, and they have amazing docs, and I don't want to rip them off, but I'm gonna really look at them closely to figure out what I want to write. So they have, I like this layout. They have attack, header, and then just kind of how you use it, and I think that's a good layout. So attack, the header, and code, right? Yeah. And I will kind of steal their setup a little bit. It's not gonna, mine's not gonna look as nice, but I'm also not gonna have to maintain a separate website. So, it's the header name. And you, what's everybody up to out there on Twitch land? Anything cool? Okay, so the attack. What's the I wonder what the license is on Helmet.js before I continue. Oh, it's MIT. MIT means I can pretty much redistribute it however I want to, and that I can do whatever I want, which is good. So I can actually just copy their docs if I wanted to. Let's see, so by disabling DNS prefetch, you're essentially preventing people's browsers from resolving other DNS entries, which will protect their privacy, right? Browsers can start these DNS requests before the user even clicks on the link and loads a resource. This improves performance when the user clicks on the link as privacy implications. This is the URL, the browser. Prefetches the DNS. This is a performance improvement, but can expose your user's privacy by having them visit sites they have never visited. The header, what do they write here? I don't really care as much about having super good docs. I can always fill it out later. Actually, I have really good example code already. So all I kind of have to do is the default is false, right? What? Use DNS prefetch. Use DNS prefetch. Here it is. Allow false. Yeah. Just need to copy the same signature. Nice. Yep, this is good. So this is really great. This allows now somebody can just get a brief overview of why this matters. And we can link right to it. So let's see. I have a whole bunch of them. Let's look at my README on GitHub. Use frame guard, cross-site scripting filters. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8 more to go. So cross-site. I'm gonna try to cover the C's first. I think. XSS filter. Cross-site scripting. So I'm just making a link to it, Markdown. Here it is right here. I actually like this kind of layout, so I'm gonna copy this more or less, fix it all up later. So what is the filter? Yep. Just gonna kind of copy. XSS is multifaceted. Okay, so this middleware simply simply allows the browser to detect and combat reflective XSS attacks. This will not save you against all attacks, but it's a good start. Note, in older versions of IE, this causes more security issues, so we turn it off. Alright, just filling out the documentation here. It's a big part of like just programming in the open is giving people some docs, and it's tedious, but wait, why is a cross-site scripting filter take a content security policy? Or is this might just be off? Hold on. Visual Studio is a lot smarter. I just want to make sure that nothing is weird. Yeah. Nice. Oh, okay. Cross-site scripting.md. I think that's the name of the parameter. I don't quite remember the name. Add old IE. Nice. Okay. Spec CT, I don't have that yet. Frame guard. It's the next one, I guess. Content security policy. It's really, I want to do it kind of in alphabetical order. Things being alphabetical is really nice for users. So all I'm doing here is just basically, I'm going to Helmet.js because they have really great docs, and kind of reading what they have to say, and I'm copying their little summaries because their summaries are really well written. But I like my kind of layout here. When hackers can place content into their site, they can do bad things. For example, JavaScript executing can give them someone's credit card data, or they could place one by one transparent GIF on your site to collect data. Content security header tells browsers which domains content can come from. This is essentially a white list of domains where content can be loaded. For example, images could only come from your subdomain. Just diving into my examples here, pulling out my example. Here we are saying images can only come from images Oh, I'm gonna make this an asterisk. Can come from any subdomain of my site. Fonts can come from the current domain, and only certain media can be used. I just want to have like good docs on each, or not good, but decent docs on each one that I have, and then we can go in and add more things later. HSTS. Nope, frame guard is next, right? It's F. Frame guard. Okay. Frame guard essentially prevents clickjacking. If I remember correctly, you set the header to prevent people from iframing buttons on your site. Frame guard mitigates clickjacking attacks. I actually really like their explanation of this one. The attacker wants you to click something you don't actually want to click. Basically, this frame guarding, you're just preventing iframes from being loaded on your site. So that means that no one could like iframe a button and put it into a weird context. Okay. The XFrame options. This lets you basically declare which domains can load iframes from your site, which is pretty cool. So like I said, my library is largely, it's not a ripoff, but I guess it's largely inspired by this other thing, and I'm kind of stealing their docs a little bit. I basically was inspired by this library called Helmet.js. It's a JavaScript library, and I wrote Hardhat. It's like a C# kind of edition or version, but some things are similar and some things are different about my thing. Like for example, hide power by doesn't exist because that header doesn't really exist in .NET Core. HI So HPKP is next. These docs were inspired by Helmet.js, which has much better overall documentation. Okay. HPKP, right? Public pinning. Let's see. Oh, I just realized the lights aren't on in here. One moment. Okay, that's much better. Not nearly as white now. Like, in terms of the screen making me white. Like, if I toggle away, I mean, it's still less, but it's a little bit suppressed. HPKP. You know, I just realized I can do what they do here. Actually have nice little it's a XSS cross-site scripting. Yeah. Content security policy. Prevent click jacking. Hello everybody. Basically I'm just kind of working on the docs for my my kind of open source project called Hardhat. You can see the URL above me. I can also link you to it again in the chat. Oh wait, that's incorrect. I just realized that URL is not correct. It's this. This is the correct URL. Basically just putting the docs for it together so I can release a 1.0. Essentially it's just some middleware that prevents, like, you know, a lot of weird attacks on your .NET Core based websites and like improves the privacy of your customers, I would say. And it's inspired by this other project called Helmet.js, so I'm actually reading a lot of their docs and seeing what's applicable, copying a couple things. It's an MIT license, so I'm allowed to do that, but I'm mostly kind of rewriting the docs to be for more my my thing. And I'm just kind of like getting just trying to throw the docs together real quick so I can kind of launch, but you know, I figured I can like improve the documentation later. I do like their little summaries, so I've been copying their little summaries, but I've been kind of rewriting what else they have to be more my style. I have this little layout I've been doing, just like their layout essentially. So if hackers can intercept secure requests to your website before, and you don't tell they can gain like the credit card information or passwords of your customers. So the public key pins header tells the browsers, gives the browsers a hash of your public keys. Public keys are like cryptographic keys. So when you make a request to a website, your browser asks for a public key, and then it uses that to like encrypt your data, and then you use a private key to decrypt it. So essentially what this is doing is when we load the document, we say this is exactly our public keys. In the browser, if the browser sees different keys, it's like, oh wait, those are incorrect. I want to reformat this though. Let's see, and hi Finlay HST. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Finlay HST. But hi, how are you? I'm working on oh, I guess the URL's being cut off. I just noticed that. Didn't new line. I'm working on just some the documentation for this thing. It's a basically a bunch of middleware that I wrote to help secure like .NET Core kind of based websites. I didn't realize my overlay was kind of getting cut off there. Could probably try and fix that. See if I can fix that. I don't know. Maybe I can't, but if I... Oh no, it's just gonna get cut off. Okay. It's too narrow. That's fine. I'm not too worried about it. It's just because it's one string, I think. Anyway, how are you doing today? You doing good? What are you up to? I'm just writing documentation, so it's a little on the boring side right now. Okay, anyway, what's the next thing to document? HSTS, that's right. HSTS, I can't remember what that does now. Oh, strict transport, right. Well, I really appreciate everybody kind of watching. I hope you're having a good day so far. I'm having a pretty good afternoon. Like I said, right now I'm just in the middle of documenting a project I have called Hardhat. So it's a little bit boring. I kind of finished all the coding parts, but I have to document how everything works. A bunch of security middleware basically helps your website stay secure. So HSTS, so I'm just gonna paste this in here. I was inspired a lot by this other project, so I've been kind of rereading their docs as I write my docs. Set the strict. So you know, I've just been kind of reading their docs as well, and yeah, basically, so because I'm trying to also stay kind of with parity of their thing, but that thing's written in JavaScript, and my thing's written in C# on .NET Core. I had a pretty good afternoon. I went to Wendy's earlier and had a chicken sandwich. But I haven't been up to too much. Played some Titanfall earlier. So most websites you want to serve over HTTPS, but often a HTTP request is made and a user is redirected. Yep. So, do you handle submitting a HSTS preload rule set or alerting the site admin to request HS? I do not alert, but you can turn it on. It's very simple to turn on. It's like literally a Boolean flag that you put in the it's just preload true. But essentially all preload does is like serves an additional preload header that you can publish to Chrome. Like Chrome, the Chromium project is you can like submit your site to it, so they automatically preload that in the browsers. So that's all you have to do in here though, is basically add preload true and then go submit your site. But I don't do anything beyond like alerting people to do these kinds of things. When you're writing the actual app, like if I just go into Visual Studio and like go to that examples, the like hint right here is pretty good. It just says, it's hard if you can't see it very well, it says this preloaded with Google, and it says hstspreload.org. If you don't know, then set this to false. But you know, it's giving people good advice. But essentially, you know, it'll prompt people to go there and discover if they should or should not do it. Yeah. But yeah, it's basically the header provides, it's a set of middleware, provides lots of stuff, including content security policies, cross-site scripting, iframe frame guarding for click tracking, HSTS, and public key pinning, that kind of stuff. What do you do, Mr. Bass? Are you a, is it Mr. Bass or Mr. Bass? Is that Bass or Bass? I'm not sure. It's Mr. Bass, I think, right? Oh, it's Bass, okay. You work on doing volume encryption. Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm mostly... My day job is working at Vistaprint.com. Basically work on the back end of the website, some parts of the front end, doing lots of other stuff. But really, like, I spend a lot of time just making a lot of stuff for the .NET community that exists in Ruby or exists in Node or some other languages. That's really cool. How long have you been doing that? Quite a while? Okay, I want that URL, this preload URL. was elsewhere in the company writing secure file transfer application that was put on hold. Moved to file volume encryption about 4 months ago. Even done some UEFI programming. Oh, that, yeah, I've actually done a little bit of that myself. That's pretty crazy stuff. For a little while I was writing like my own operating system, and I was trying to get a lot of like support for very strange things, and I was getting very low level to the metal and doing that kind of stuff. I haven't been recently. I got kind of tired of it, but it is really fun to do. Actually, I'm gonna... So, how long you been a programmer? How long have you been programming? Do you do anything publicly? Can I follow you on GitHub? Disable. I never did no cache. I did no sniff. And I did refer policy. So I think the only ones I have left is right now I'm just like documenting. So I'm not really doing anything like super exciting, but you know, it's this has been a fun project to kind of do. I mean, it got a decent amount of stars recently on GitHub, so that's cool. I'm most known for doing OAuth stuff, I think. I did quite a lot of OAuth a number of years ago. So I have left. I need INoOpen. No MIME sniffing. Oh, long hours. Oh, yeah. So I was writing my own, that operating system I was telling you about that I started writing on my own was built with Rust. I built it with Rust. I think I put the code on GitHub. If I haven't, I should put it up on there because it was pretty cool. I added like threading and I added a whole bunch of other stuff. I got pretty into it for a little while, but you know, I haven't like really worked on it much since. All right, so I need to do refer policy. I need to do IEopen, and what's the other one I need to do? Oh, MIME sniffing. Okay, so I have to do these three. What they want from me. GHI, KLMN, OPQR. Okay, so this is alphabetical. So INoOpen, which prevents IE from opening websites in the context of your browsers. This is a stupid IE feature. Early IE was terrible. You went from iOS to HTTP front-end, service back-end, UEFI, user kernel programming in C. I'm interested in looking at it. I've been messing with the writing in OS too. Yeah, actually, somebody a long time ago wrote a great blog post that I started on where they kind of follow you through getting assembler to work and then getting a Rust process to boot off of it. And so that's kind of how I started. I'll have to dig out the code. I don't know if I put it on my GitHub or not, but lots of other stuff's on there. Feel free to go check me out. You know, this project here was one I was going to abandon, but it got a lot of stars recently, so I figured I would finish it and write all the documentation. And that's really what I'm up to now. I feel like it's not quite feature complete, but it's feature complete enough to go with a 1.0, and then from there we're going to, you know, like improve it later. I think content pinning, I think, is a new thing coming soon. I saw Hard Hat implemented it. It's what's it called? It's this header's called CT. Oh, certificate transparency. It's in progress though. I don't want to do anything in progress, but in progress spec. Mime sniffing is so yeah, that's really cool though. That's what a career, dude. That's crazy. That's a pretty crazy career. Do you work at like a security startup? Is that it? Like kind of like Threat Stack or something? Don't know why I can't type today. Company out of Cali. Oh, cool. Yes, Threat Stack's in Boston, so no, it's not that. That's cool though. That's really cool. Are you guys stealthed, or are you like public at this point? And you know, good luck. Startups are very tough. I've had a couple friends fail in the startup world, and I've had one do very well. Been copying this this structure, so I guess IE no open is the next thing we do. Still private, looking good though. I had a partnership with IBM. Oh, so a couple of my friends got acquired by IBM. They weren't so happy about it in the end. They got paid well. They just didn't like IBM's culture. But I mean, you know, good luck, dude. It's really tough. You gotta take any out you can get, honestly. I mean, I hope it works out for you. Let's see, I can't quite remember what this thing was supposed to do. Yeah. Oh, right, yeah. Do you have anything on GitHub? Any public work? That's not the download options. Oh yeah, it is download options. Yeah. You know, George, are you in here as well? Let me know if you're in here. So, Mr. Bass, do you like to go fishing on your free time? Is that like what you're doing? You're angular, just not the library. stand out in a river. I don't know much about fishing. I don't get out much. I don't know how to spell interpret. Did I spell it right? And this thing's just dumb? No. Thank you, Google Spell. Let's see. No sniff. Done. Refer policy is the last one I got. Oh, wow, I can't believe I got all that done. That was a lot. Now I just have to link to the docs. Nice. This is the first time. I'm glad I got this set. Alright, time to publish this. Oh my god, this is the wrong branch. Okay. Let's just make a branch called docs. Submit a pull request for docs. Just kill all these tabs. Yeah, so in case you guys don't know, I'm working on that project right there. It's called Hard Hat. Just protects your customers' data, like, you know, by like providing a lot more privacy, and prevents you from getting hit by common cross-site scripting attacks and that kind of stuff. It also lets you just set content security policies to prevent people from accidentally loading weird files onto your site. That's all it does. It's pretty much been a work in progress for a little while now, but it looks like it's rapidly coming to like a 1.0. If that's probably better for you to see. That looks like this. Anyway, check this pull request. Should build no problem because it's just all it is documentation. So, just want to view the docs. Yep, all this looks pretty good to me. Waiting for this thing to build. Oh, it did build. Okay, so it should be mergeable. Yep. Okay, delete the branch. These two issues can be closed. They were done. So that means 1.0 is released. So I think I can actually release 1.0 at this point. Just gonna one last check through. I don't have as much. I don't have as much unit tests as I'd like, but there's quite a few unit tests in here. There's a lot of comments, which is good. A lot of comments. Yeah, I wonder if I should have made these, instead of hash sets, I wonder if these should be iSet, or iCollections. Well, no, they have to be, well, no, I like them being hash sets. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Here are all the actual middlewares. They don't need a lot of comments, because they're, even though they're publicly accessible, they're kind of injected by other things. My phone is going off the hook, and it's a whole bunch of, not a whole lot of stuff. Okay, back to programming. Yeah, I think this is a good 1.0. I think, honestly, I think this is going to be a good 1.0. Alright, give people like what we did. Oh, I can zoom in here. Actually, it's 1.0 released. Let's see, what did we add? We added HBKP, right? Which is public key pinning. Added more extensions to inject middleware. I think that's basically it, right? Added HPKP, added documentation, added more extensions. Unit tests exist and are awesome. Still more work would be. Unit tests exist. Preview this. I think this is, yep, that ta-da emoji. Alright, publish this release. Whoa, I can't believe I just did that. Okay. I like how on here it says ta-da. Oh, I thought that would come through. Okay, let's just get rid of this up there. So I want to see the build on this. It should be building and it will publish by itself, so I could have sworn I put the build badge here, but I guess I haven't put a build badge here. Hard hat. Here it is right here. Okay. Well, it's deploying it now. Okay, I want the build badge for this thing. I want the build badge. Gotta put the badge on the repo. So you want this build passing badge? It looks nice. So yeah, master branch only. The other branches don't matter really. Stash that. Let's pull. And then apply it. Add build badge. Okay, so this website should now have a build badge any second now. Aha! Yeah, look at that. Nice. And it shows it's passing. Very good. So if I go to NuGet hard hat, let's see if it's live yet. Let's see if 1.0. Oh, there it is right there. Latest stable 1.0.0. Hey. I feel like there needs to be some air horn. I don't have a soundboard. I have a phone, no soundboard. So I'm just gonna Give myself a little hip-hop air horn. Yeah, that's the best I got. Okay, it's pretty ghetto. But look at that. It's live. Nice. So, latest stable. As a main index, yeah, it'll take a little while. Oh, I should go into the README down here. Get rid of this pre block. That says pre-release. Nice. Just a lot of stuff around the documentation. And I think I want to add some topics. Middleware, ASP, .NET Core, security, content, security policy, public key. No, I'll just add that. That's good. I like it. I like it a lot. And there we go. It's live on NuGet, everybody. You can download it. 1.0.0 of Hardhat. You can enjoy it. The best in .NET Core security middlewares. I don't really know what to say now. The next thing I want to implement, though, is expect-ct. I'm going to get rid of this help wanted label. I'm just going to make an enhancement, and I'm going to do it. I was hoping someone would do it for me, but I guess not. Okay, expect-ct. This is a new header. It's in draft. This basically allows website host operators to instruct user agents to expect a valid signed certificate timestamp to be served on connections to hosts. I have no idea what that means. Let me find if MDN does a better job explaining these things. Expect. That's a different header. This document defines a new HTTP header. Expect-ct allows website to instruct user agents to expect valid certificate timestamps to be served. I want to see what Hardhat did. Hardhat. Got a lot of my inspiration from Hardhat. It's a great project. I'm just a C# ripoff of Hardhat, which is a JavaScript thing. Expect certificate transparency. See this blog post and this impartial. I can read more. Expect-ct header to determine if they're ready. It's easy to. Chrome certificate transparency policy. I don't know what this is about. Certificate transparency is an open framework for monitoring and auditing certificates issued by certificate authorities. By requiring a CA to log all certificates they generate. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Okay, this makes a whole lot of sense. So this is a pretty simple header. It just says expect-ct with a max age, a report URI, and a report URI. The optional enforce directive controls whether the browser should enforce the policy or treat it as report-only mode. Okay, here's the spec right here. And this doesn't have a lot of information. This guy's got a really good blog, though. The required max age directive specifies the number of seconds the browser should cache and apply receive the policy, whether to enforce or report only. The report URI directive specifies where the browser should send reports. Okay. I'm just going to assume the report URI is like required. I think it is required. I think the enforce is the only thing that's optional. Okay, so making a new middleware for .NET Core is what I'm going to do for this thing. So this is a middleware. It simply sets a header based on how people have pre-configured the middleware. So let's call this the expect-ct. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of the words header. They're all headers. Okay. So middleware in .NET Core is pretty simple, actually. I can copy... Essentially, it's just a class that takes in a request delegate. And a request delegate is just basically essentially a pointer to the rest of the other middlewares. So I'm just going to put that up there. I've always called them next. This is basically the next middleware in the pipeline, you see. Got this backward. Okay, so essentially you need to have a separate function called invoke, and it can do something, but essentially what this thing does is returns a task, which is like an asynchronous function in .NET Core, or .NET in general, actually. And in this case, invoking the next thing down the line is actually a task, so I'm just returning the invocation of the next middleware. Considering we're just adding a header, we're not preventing the request from continuing. We definitely always want to call the next header. But if you're preventing the next middleware from being called, maybe doing rate limiting, then you'll definitely not want to invoke the next one. Okay, so we got enforce, which is a boolean of optional, max age, which is a required directive number of seconds, and it cannot be less than 0, and report URI, which is where it should send reports to. So let's do a ulong for max age. Ulong is essentially like a long, except it doesn't have negative values. And a long is a 64-bit integer. It's a very big integer. Report URI. I considered making these report URIs like the system.URI type, but I decided against it. And then an optional enforce. The optional enforce directive. The enforce has no value, so you simply include it or not, depending on whether or not you want the browser to enforce the policy report on it. Okay, so by default, it's kind of false. And then you just kind of add it to make it true. I assume later, once the spec is done, that the enforce will go away, and it will actually be a separate header to only do reporting. So what we want to do is we want to build the header. And I'm going to make a separate class to actually do the building of the header, because it makes testing easier. So we'll do expect ct header builder. And I'm just going to make what we call a pure function. You put things in, it gives you something out. It doesn't mutate anything. This is basically for internal use only, actually, so I can make this internal. This is not meant for other people to use. The first thing I want to do, well, I want to make sure that report URI is not null or white space, so you know, I feel like this should be optional, but I'm not so sure. The draft doesn't say, I don't think. Report, oh, here we go. The report URI directive is required. Okay. Can I put a message here? Oh, parameter name. The message goes afterward. Okay. It's just giving like a useful message. I also want to put this in the builder, even though this is internal. I can control who calls it. I just like to be extra careful with these things. So I'm gonna make bar builder. So I'm basically building a string, and in .NET, if you want to, a string is just a series of characters, and in .NET, if you're gonna build strings, you should use string builder. Basically, it makes appending efficient. Concatenating. Okay, Let me think here. Okay, so build should take in a max age, report URI, and enforce. So once we've like calculated the header, it's never going to change. Like it's kind of configuration, so I'm just going to store it in memory, as permanently, so we don't calculate these on every request. So header value equals expect ct dot build. Shouldn't that be a thing? Terminal stack string build. Why is it not coming up? Oh wait, expect ct header builder. There we go. Max age, report URI, enforce. And I need to sneeze. Okay, so I should make a constant of the expect CT header, so we don't have to keep allocating a string for it. So I'm just gonna do that here. This is a constants file I have. And it's expect what's the header look like? Oh, capital C and capital T. Okay. Okay, there we go. See? So now in every request, we're going to set the expect CT header to the header value. The header value is set during the construction of this thing. So it's just set during the application start. And that is basically calling this build function. So we just have to kind of make this build function work. So the first thing we need to do is we can move this part up here actually, and then we can initialize the string builder with a default value. So we know certain things are going to exist in this header. Max age equals the max age value and report URI. So .NET has this thing called string interpolation. I'll show you what that does in a minute. So max age equals, so basically these this $sign out here and combined with these brackets means that these curly braces means that I want to take the value of this thing up here and place it right in here. The compiler is essentially going to add code that does that. And then report URI. Enforce, I think, can come before or at the end. I don't think it matters where it is. So it's report URI equals. I wonder if that needs to be quoted. Oh, it does need to be quoted. So I have to escape some quotes here. And then if enforce builder.append enforce. Now we'll add the, I'll basically tack on a paren here. I mean, not a paren, a semicolon here. And then add enforce afterward. Okay? That's all this header does for right now. It's still in draft. You should probably make sure people understand it's draft in here. I may even... wish it was like a prototype header in .NET. Like, I wish I could say this is like prototype thing. I'll just have to document it well in the middleware. So now that we have this, we need to expose a way for people to actually add this as middleware. So we have extensions. In .NET, you can add functions that aren't normally associated with a type I'll give you an example. So this type called iApplicationBuilder, we're adding this function called use HPKT just with the this in front of it. So if we go look at startup here, we just app.hpkp should be here somewhere. Oh yeah, it's down here. See, it's right here. Okay, now I don't actually control this iApplicationBuilder. This is actually shipped by Microsoft, but I can add functions on top of it, which is what I'm doing essentially. So we need to add one that says use certificate transparency. Use certificate transparency. iApplicationBuilder. And then basically all the things this thing takes. Just gonna literally copy it all. And then I'm going to comment what those things are in here. Use middleware. And then this is the expect CT. Just make sure, yep, that's the right thing. Oh. Let me see. Just put max age, report URI, and enforce. Okay. I'm just gonna copy. I like this guy's I'm just gonna say C. No. I'm going to copy his blog post instead. Okay. That makes the most sense, I think. How's everyone doing today? I'm getting kind of hungry, gotta admit. I had some Wendy's earlier, but I'm starting to get pretty hungry. Cannot find reference. Wait a minute. MS build XML documentation doc comments. I want to know how you link to something. There's, I know special angle brackets. No, this isn't it. XML C# XML doc comments. Here it is. C. that's a member. See also. You see, specify a link from within text. Okay. Use the cref attribute to create internal hyperlinks. Link. Paracode. Okay, I'm just gonna have to roll with it for now. To website. Document comment. C. Oh, href. Wow. Okay, max age. Report URI. And then enforce. I want to wrap this in a para tag. Yeah, I'm getting very hungry here. Been a while since I ate. Had some, like I said, had some Wendy's earlier. Had a chicken breast, grilled chicken breast from Wendy's. Was it good? I also had a junior vanilla frosty, and that was good too. Anybody out there eating anything right now? Maybe some Cheetos or something? I don't know. Isn't that what gamers tend to eat? Cheetos? Actually, I'm pretty hopped up on Cheetos myself. Anyway, certificate transparency. It's actually a pretty simple header. Let's just write a quick unit test for it. Quick couple of unit tests, and then be done. Can you long be 0? I think it can, yeah. It's not this one. It's the expect CT header builder, isn't it? Okay. Report URI can't be null. Max age can be 0 though. I don't think -1 works anyway in ulong. Just assert. Let's just check the exception to make sure that's there. so this should throw. Can run the unit tests in the terminal. Tests, but I felt like I had 10 earlier. Oh, need to add a fact here, don't I? Nice. Okay. So let's see, I expect max age. Oh wait, no. Max age equals 0. Report URI equals escape string, escape quote, sorry. Awesome. Escape quote. And the actual is the result. Yep, that's a fact. Okay. Let's just pass it. So if I put this to 2, that should fail. I just want to make sure this is working properly. Yeah. Cool. Okay. And then just need one more unit test that with what's it called? No. With enforce. And enforce should add an extra header that looks like this. Should do just that. Nice. Nice. Okay. Let's see. Wait. I need to cd up a couple directories. Okay. I'm gonna be right back. I gotta hit the bathroom. I'll leave the music playing.
Like heaven, 'cause we don't let the bad vibes get in, we don't let them win. Testify to the strength of a true bond, flying high over the heads of a root mob, staying of the revolution of the whole clock, kill 'em all with love. I don't care if they're talking about us. No, I don't care if they put us down. No, I don't care if the sky falls around us. We're riding on a pink cloud. Oh, oh. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I don't care. We're riding on a pink cloud.
Alright, everybody, I think I'm gonna take a break for a little bit. I don't know. Well, maybe not. How do I feel? Yeah. I think I'm gonna take a break. I'll probably catch you guys later. Have a good day. Enjoy your rest of your day. Use hard hat if you can. Later.